Hello guys, today I'm going to be making some Aurelion Sol content. I've been playing Aurelion Sol as my main champion this split on a different account, but you can see this is my account right now. I'm on my climb back up to Masters, currently midway through Diamond 3, 70% win rate. My LP gains have been a little low, so it's taken me a lot of games. 56 played is quite a lot to still be in Diamond 3, but yeah, we're getting there. But I've been playing Ludens with Ingenious Hunter, which I've made a post about on the Aurelion Sol main subreddit if you want to go and check that out. Otherwise, I might make a video at some point talking about why I think it's so good rather, and showing some examples. But today what I want to look at is the laning phase, because I think that's what a lot of people who play Aurelion Sol struggle with. I think that's where people are missing out, and I think there's a lot of opportunities to get ahead in laning phase on a champion who, if you get to late game, you just automatically win. So yeah, I think people severely underestimate this champion lane. So we're going to look at the lane phase from a couple of my games that I've been playing recently. This first one, I was playing against a Lilia mid, which is a weird one for sure. But what I want to look at is just how I'm playing lane, and a lot of this comes down to the rune setup. Can I actually check? I can check my runes here. So I can show you that I'm playing Comet, I'm playing Scorch, and I'm playing Taste of Blood with double resist shards and adaptive force. The Comet and the Scorch and the Taste of Blood for lane phase are what's important to be thinking about. So we're going to put this on 2x speed, and we're just going to watch my lane phase, and I'm going to try and talk through it. And in basically all of these games that I'm going to show you, I'm going to get a solo kill early into the lane. So yeah, we're going to talk about how that happens, because the rune page allows you to set that up, and people don't expect to get solo killed by Sol. Like, people really underestimate this champ. So in a lot of games, I'm going to be going Q start. The only time I'll ever go E start is if I'm in a matchup where there's no chance for me to poke them. Obviously against the Lilia mid, I can poke for sure. So I'm going to skill Q here, I'm going to Q tap, it's going to proc the Scorch and the Comet. The Bone Plate absorbed a lot of it there. You can see that I'm just spacing back and forth. I'm auto-attacking the creeps a lot. I'm not using my spells on the creeps, I'm just auto-attacking the last hit. And I want to stop her crashing the wave early. That's why I'm autoing so much. I'm trying to auto in time with like how she's pushing, so that it'll sit outside my tower. But every time my Comet and Scorch are up, you can see my Scorch cooldown here, my mana flow here, my Taste of Blood here, and then I'm keeping track of my Comet, my Scorch as well. Yeah, I'm Q tapping her, and you just have to tap the Q. It doesn't use any mana. You actually gain mana because of mana flow band, and you can see here, if they ever do something like this, this is why we pull the wave. We have so much safety because we're under our tower. So if they ever walk up, you can channel a full Q on them, and look how much damage she takes from this. Huge damage, and I'm farming Stardust from that as well. And I'm just going to play really safe and keep getting these Q pokes. So I'm auto-attacking the creeps, and what I'll do is early game I don't focus on using my E to farm creeps. I don't try and farm too much Stardust. I mean, I try and farm some, but not as much as you'll see other people. I think that gaining control of the lane and like winning the lane, or at least putting yourself in a position where you're not losing it, will result in you getting more Stardust in the long run. So here I'm using my E on this wave. It was a little early, but I think I got it to tag her. But if I didn't do it earlier, when this wave tries to walk into the turret, I would E behind it and it would pull it back out of the turret, and then it won't crash and it will stay frozen. That's something that I do a lot. So I'm farming this wave, and she's walking up, and you can see that she started with D-ring and 2 pots. She's already used both of her pots, because I'm just constantly applying these Comet Scorch procs from outside of her range. There's nothing she can really do about it. There's that one really bad trade she could have avoided. There I get a full Q poke because she walks up to last hit. But the reason I can get these full Q procs is because she's having to walk all the way down the lane. That's my wave control. So I can't... Here I'm eating the wave to get some Stardust. But I can't like explain in depth how I'm making the wave do this. Just know that you want the wave to do this, and if you learn wave control fundamentals, which I also might make a video about, you'll be able to do this a lot more. Like, obviously different champs can contest the wave better than others. Now what I'm bearing in mind here is that Lilia's roaming to this play. I know this, but I know that she's low, so I want to move to this as well. But the wave's pretty awkward for me because it's slow pushing into her now. She's actually broken, or I've broken the freeze with my E, so I'm going to drop an E on it and then I'm going to move. And Lily is here, and because of the damage that I got on her in lane, like, she's this low because of how I played lane phase, and because of that I can just fly at her and kill her. So that's the first solo kill. Let's have a look at another game. Let's check out... Why is it not letting me open replays? Is this because they're old? No. Let's check out this one. Let's see what this game is. I've downloaded a few. And we'll just see. Okay, this is versus Tristana. This is one that I see a lot of people mess up from the perspective of the Trist. So here I am A-Sol, of course. Let's jump forward. And already we're trading. Let's go back and see what's happening. So yeah, Tristanas play really aggressive. Okay, here what I'm doing is, I'll show you later why I do this, but I often look for this chicken ward at level 1, but she just happened to be like right around this corner and I didn't see her until I stepped around. So I get traded on. So what I do is I walk away from her because she's not in auto range. You see how she's like clicking towards me to try to hit me? So I keep walking back until she turns, and when she turns I breathe on her, so she doesn't get the auto on me, but I do get my breath, and now her bone plating's down. And then if she walks up again, I'll just Q her, just Q-tap. See how I'm spacing? Q-tap there, nice spacing, really nice. She does get the auto there, I get another Q-tap. I get another Q-tap. I'm just going to keep doing it. It's about spacing and Q-tapping. But I'll show you very shortly what Tristana players mess up, is that they all play way too aggressive. Watch this Tristana here. People disrespect how much damage A-Sol does if you actually let him breathe on you. He does a lot of damage, it's just very impractical for him to do it. And if we keep going forward, you'll see that Tristana now is going for this weird roam up here. She's way too low to do anything. And my Scion knows she's coming, I'm spam pinging him. So there's no way he should ever be able to die to this. Meanwhile, I'm just getting XP and stuff in mid. And then what happens? She tries it, doesn't actually end up working, which is kind of dumb by this Scion that he allows that to work. And she TP's back into mid. She's level 3, I'm level 4. And I know I have level advantage and a minion wave, so if she jumps in, I'm going to kill her. So I just kill her. I die, but I have TP now and she doesn't. So that's another solo kill. She's 9 CS, I'm 21, and from here I just TP, push this wave in, let it keep pushing into me, and that's basically lane 1 for me. Let's check another example. What is this one? This one's against Silas. I didn't solo kill him because that's an impossible solo kill. Although what I can show is how I played the very early game, even though I didn't solo kill him. You can see some like spacing and trading very quickly. But yeah, there's basically no room for solo kill in this matchup. Unless he massively ints. Because you'll see that he plays this really bad. But I still don't have the potential for a solo kill. So you look, I'm doing exactly the same thing, and here as he looks for his E in, where I'm positioned in lane, this is a positioning thing. So I'm spacing him on his way into lane, I'm Q-tapping him. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk up, but I'm right next to this minion. I'm not walking up here. I think you can see my mouse when I'm recording. I'm not walking up here, I'm not walking up here. I'm walking up right next to this creep. So that when he E's, I'm gonna walk behind the creep. He E's the creep. I'm now gonna auto him, because it's a free auto attack, and then I'm gonna channel a Q onto him. And that's a huge trade in my favor. And now I'm just gonna keep Q-tapping the guy. Yeah, so basically you can see that I'm just bullying him with Q-taps. And that's how I play these melee matchups that want kill pressure on you. I try and bait them into a bad all-in, like this, and then I Q-tap them. You see how I was playing behind the minion again? So that's basically that. There's no way I'm ever going to kill him, though, unfortunately. Let's check the next example. What have we got here? Okay, this one's against Lissandra. This is definitely not a matchup where I should be ever winning, but I do solo kill her around 7 minutes, so we'll watch the game. I remember there's an unfortunate dive that happens on me, but it's actually quite well played by the Elise. It's a very creative dive that she goes for. Yeah, exactly. You can see I'm in exactly the same position. Like, when they try to walk up, I'm Q-poking. I'm always Q-poking. Auto, Q-poke, full channel. I got that free auto in there as well, because I spaced better than her. Like, you don't have to play like a bitch on this champion. You have really good range. Obviously, it gets better the longer into the game you go. But here, I'm dropping my E just to get some damage on the wave, and I also get a Comet and Scorch proc on her. And now, I'm not going to let this... Actually, I am going to let this crash. I think maybe that's a mistake, but I might have taken too much damage. But here, she just walks up too far. That's something you'll see a lot. You saw the Tristana do it, you saw the Silas do it. Everyone walks up too far. The Lilia did it. And you can see that the wave is exactly in the same place again. It's always here. This is where I want my wave. This lets me play like this. ignore the fact that I missed that cannon. And I'm just going to try and keep it here. And now this is an Ignite Lissandra as well, so any health advantage that I can get, I can use that to take a TP reset and just completely smash her in lane. So yeah, more Q poking going on, and I'm just trying to hold the wave. See, I'm holding it, I'm not letting it crash. Now, this is going to slow push back into her because I chose to E the wave to get some Stardust stacks, but I think I'm thinking that I'm not too bothered about wave state because if you look at my mana, I'm probably going to be TP resetting soon. If we check my gold, I have 1100 total, I have 600 in bag. I'm wanting 1100 in bag so that I can buy Lost Chapter, but might not end up getting that. I mean, my mana flow is going to be complete soon, to be fair, and then it becomes a lot easier. This is really good, though, that her health is this low, and I'm crashing a wave, and I have TP and she has Ignite. Like, I'm kind of destroying lane right now. Looks like I'm going to take a reset. Yep. Then she's choosing to use her mana to hard push. So because she did that, I'm going to TP back, fly into lane, and hold the wave here with my E, and then I'm going to drag it. And this is going to give me a freeze. And she's going to miss some creeps here. As these creeps die, I'm not going to miss any. She's resetting, and now she's only just coming back to lane, but she's missing all these creeps, and the wave's exactly where I want it. This is because I TP'd back and dragged the wave, and this is how you can use TP to win lane into Ignite. Grab the Stardust there, and I'm just going to go back to Q poking. I'm just going to look for the little Q pokes. I think this might be where Elise kills me. Yeah, so this is really cute from Elise. She walks around and she just flashes over the wall and cocoons me. But it's not too bad because I did get the wave. Yeah, she just flashes and cocoons me. So that's Ignite and Lissandra ult down. She's low, so she's going to have the base. And now I know she's no Ignite, no ult. I'm going to come back to lane. And this is something that I see people not punishing enough as ASOL, is that I know she has no Ignite and no ult, right? So if she tries to fight me, or I can even look to fight her, I have ult, I have flash, there's no way she's going to win. So look, she's Eing in on me, so I'm just going to take this opportunity to ult her and full Q her. She has to flash away. And now I can look to push this in. I have prio, I can move for my jungler, I could take a reset if I need. Looks like she's trying to recall, so I'm going to look to push another wave. Q-tap. And then she walks into me, so, well, not into me, but in to hit the wave when she's that low. So I just drop my E on her and I just Q her and she dies. So there's another example of just getting a solo kill on ASOL. If you can be ahead on this champion, it's disgusting. Like, you're never meant to be ahead. Let's see what game this is. Okay, this is against the Anivia. I'm pretty sure I got a solo kill in this game too. Which, again, Anivia is not a matchup where you should be solo killing as ASOL, but people don't play the matchups correctly. Let's check. The solo kill's quite late into the game, so I'm going to skip a lot of it here because the lane phase is going to look exactly like how it looked before. You can see that I've generated a bit of a CS lead. I've literally just been Q-tap poking and playing for poke. And then at this point in the game, Anivia's down here. I'm going to roam. I'm going to follow the roam here. I'm sure I guess. Is the solo kill here? So yeah, here okay, here's something that I want to show as well. A lot of the time what you'll see is people push a wave, like a cannon wave, and then look to roam onto bot lane. This is like a really standard play pattern for mid laners. She's a bit late on her roam, which makes it even easier for me, but because ASOL's wave play is so good, especially after level 9, I'm just going to push the next wave and then roam. So I'm delayed on my roam, but I have my W. So I am late to the play, but she's missing a whole wave, and I am here, and we kill both. And then now later, I think I get a solo. So, fighting this. Now, because of what I did down bot, I know that Anivia has no egg. We just forced her flash. So now I'm thinking, okay, no flash, no egg on Anivia. Let's look at her, she's half health. What am I going to do? I'm literally just going to fly at her, ult her, E her, and she's dead. Like, you can just kill people like this. Let's check some more. I think this next one might be one of the most important to look at. Is this the Kassadin game? Yeah, okay. So there's a few matchups in the game, mostly melee matchups. I'm thinking like Kassadin, Katarina actually goes like this for the very, very early game, for the first few waves. Similar for Fizz, but Fizz has more pressure. But into these melee matchups where they can't contest your push, I like to play differently. So here's how I like to play melee matchups. Silas is an exception because Silas is so unbelievably strong in the early levels, but most champions aren't as strong as Silas. So if we watch what I do in this game, I'm going to be taking Q level 1, of course. I'm looking for my Q pokes. Here you go, there's another one. I'm just slowly whittling him down, and that makes it even harder for him to contest the wave. I mean, Kassadin has absolutely no ability to contest the wave anyway. We actually see Rek'Sai here with this ward, so I know Rek'Sai starting here. So what I look to do in the melee matchups is play around the junglers. So you'll see what I mean by that in a minute. So I'm slowly pushing the wave. Rek'Sai is now on her Krugs, and then we're expecting her to be on her chickens now. So as she's getting to her chickens, I'm going to crash this wave, and I'm going to walk down, and I'm going to harass Rek'Sai at her chickens. Not only am I going to harass her at her chickens, I'm going to drop my E on the chickens, and it's going to execute some of them. I actually got kind of unlucky that it only executed 2 of the little ones. A lot of the time I'll get all the little ones, but I'll do this a lot. And this is my ward. Okay, you can see here. Source, Reforge, Aurelion Sol. I dropped this ward specifically so that I can do this. Because watch what happens now. Rek'Sai kills this camp and she's still level 2. Okay, and my Jarvan actually plays really well here. He makes a beeline for her wolves. Because you've got a level 2 jungler after 3 camps. You've got mid with perma-prio. So I'm just going to push the wave. I'm going to get this into the turret. I'm going to look to play around the Jarvan. Jarvan's down here, but I'm ready to move. Like, if she comes up here, she's dead. If she comes over here, I can come down here with my W and kill her. And yeah, I mean, she's losing her top side now. She's still level 2. The game's very over for her. And Rek'Sai actually called to FF in this game. She's 0-2 because she died on an invade, but that doesn't change her jungling too much. But yeah, so there's a lot you can do early game as Aurelion Sol, and I think if this hasn't convinced you about Scorch Q-tap, then I don't know what will, because it changes how a lot of matchups function. You have the ability to put them lower HP than they should be, and that makes them all-inning you hard, and it makes it so that if they make any mistakes, you can kill them. The one thing I will say is that people say, oh, but Gathering Storm because he's a scaling champion, but precisely because he is a scaling champion, I don't think he needs Gathering Storm. Like, obviously it's nice, but also his damage doesn't really come from his AP ratios, and I talk about this a lot when I talk about the build, which I'll probably make a video on. His damage comes from penetration and flat damage increases. That's why I buy Ludens. The damage of the item itself, the penetration, pen boots, horizon focus, flat 10% damage increase, void staff, penetration again. So yeah, AP is not the best stat on Aurelion Sol. These other increases are, because the reason for that is that his Q base damage increases massively as you get Stardust, and the only thing that increases base damage is your penetration and your horizon focus. But yeah, because you outscale every champion in the game anyway, I think Aurelion Sol is the single strongest scaler in the game. You don't need Gathering Storm. It's overkill. It's lovely, but if Scorch can allow you to scale, then it's definitely worth it. You could argue that in some matchups it doesn't. I think that's true, but I think in a lot it does, and just as a default, I think it's good, especially in solo queue. In competitive, it's probably worse. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. Sorry about showing you my OBS, but yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Nice video on Aurelion Sol early game. Build guide probably going to follow. Have a good day. See ya.